Alright, so if you've been following along, so far I've updated all of my contact records with an IP address, and at least I've updated everybody that I could. Some of them didn't come through an Infusionsoft web form, so we don't have their IP address, but all the other ones that came through an Infusionsoft web form, I was able to get the IP address using the web form tracking report. And then some people might have location data, but most of my contacts don't. So let's apply the location data. So what I want to do is I want to run an action set for everybody that has an IP address but does not have location data. So I'm going to click New Search, and I'm going to filter these results down to the group that I want. So I'm going to do Custom Fields and IP address. I'm going to do contains a period, a dot. And then for address, I guess I'll filter for the optional state, because I'm setting the optional address fields. There's billing, shipping, and then optional. So with iTracker, I've configured my account to set the optional address fields, but you can use shipping or billing if you want. So for the optional state, I'm going to say doesn't contain, and I'm going to put an underscore. An underscore is basically like a wildcard. It'll match any character. So I'm saying where the optional state doesn't have a character in it, basically. So I'm going to click search, and this should give me the list of people that I need. So I'm going to hit this guy to format it. So this gives me everybody with an IP address, but that does not have any kind of location information. If they did have location information or a time zone, iTracker will not overwrite any data. We check to see do they have any location data. If they do, we don't overwrite data. So we'll only overwrite it if it's empty. But to speed things up with the postback processing, I'm just going to send as few postbacks, only the ones that we need to send. All right, so now we need to click on actions. We are going to, where is it at? Apply an action set. I got to click this box first to make sure I selected everybody. I'm going to do apply an action set, and I'm going to send an HTTP post to another server, and we need to put a post URL. We can get that post URL from the iTracker site. Just go to API sync and copy this to the clipboard. So copy that. And while I'm in here, I'm just going to verify my geo tracking settings. So make sure that you have these boxes checked, and make sure you selected what field you want us to store this data in. You have to enable the geo tracking. If you want time zone stuff applied, just check that box and save it. That'll save instantly. And then we'll go back to the sync page, because after I send all these postbacks, the postbacks will appear on the sync page here. So I'm going to paste the postback address in here, and I'm going to click save, and then I'm going to process that action. So this is going to send 36 postbacks to the iTracker server. We'll just wait. This is pending, and so once this is sent, it should say processed. So I'll just refresh. It's still pending, so it should be processing right now. Just going to refresh one more time. It's still scheduled. There we go. So that completed. So let's go to the sync page. Let's refresh the iTracker page, and it looks like we have these postbacks that are pending. They showed up into our account. So the postbacks, if you send more than 200 postbacks, those will get throttled. So if you send like thousands of postbacks, those will get throttled and processed throughout the day. If you send less than 200, we should process that fairly quickly. So it might take a couple minutes or so. So what I'm going to do is pause the video, and I'm just going to wait for this to process. All right, let's check the Infusionsoft Contacts. Let's see if any of them have location data yet. So I'll just go to View Contacts. I'm going to click this guy here. And it looks like location data is starting to get applied to these records. And if I refresh the page, there's data coming through. But we're still waiting for most of these postbacks to get processed. So I'm going to pause the video again, and we'll just continue to wait. I'm going to refresh the page again after we waited. We're still processing this stuff, so one trick, if you go into the iTracker site under the API sync page, I'm going to click reload. Here's all these postbacks that are pending to be processed, and then you can view a debug log for this postback URL. So I'm just going to click view debug log, and right now we have 34 postbacks that are sitting in the queue waiting to get processed. And this shows kind of what, all the output, like the GeoAPI and time zone setting and, all that stuff from the postbacks. But there's 34 that are currently in the queue waiting to get pulled and processed. So I'll go back to the sync page. I can reload this page, and some of these might be completed or processed. But if I go back to the, contact list, I can just refresh this, and we can see, where more contacts are getting location data. They're just getting processed on the iTracker side. So I'll pause the video again, and we'll see how long this took. So far, we're about 3 minutes into processing for all those postbacks. All right, so we're about 5 minutes in. I'm just going to refresh this page again and see where we're at. So it looks like more and more contacts are getting their location information set, at least the ones with IP address and where we receive the postback. So that's basically how you set location information and time zone information for existing contact records if you can get their IP address out of the web form tracking report in Infusionsoft. If you have any questions, just reach out to me. Thanks.